Audi is currently holding the last card when it comes to the 2025 silly season, and it looks like the German team is still reluctant when it comes to picking from an experienced or young driver that they have available right in front of their hands. As all things stand at the moment, the 10-time race winner, and in many people's eyes the right choice for this seat, Bottas, might not get what he's desiring, as the Finn has admitted that the talks are not where they're supposed to be right now. After the restructure of Audi's leadership, could we see another rookie in the likes of Theo Pourchaire or Gabriel Bortoletto make a debut in Formula 1? And if so, how will this spell an end to Bottas and Zhou's careers, both impaired by the inability of Sauber to compete with the rest of the grid? It's safe to say that one of the greatest puzzles that is yet to be solved is the vacant Sauber seat from 2025 onwards. And right now it does look like this seat has many candidates who all have equal chances of sitting in it next to Hulkenberg. Audi have made the first move and secured an experienced driver from their home country, but ever since then the choice for the second driver has become more and more complicated, and it has been further deepened by the fact that the entire restructure in Audi saw Seidel step down and Mattia Binotto take over the roles of the CTO and COO of the team. Therefore, the Swiss engineer will be responsible for whoever gets the second seat next to Hulkenberg, and this has made a massive reset to the driver who somehow had the edge over the rest of the candidates up until this moment, Valtteri Bottas. Ever since Binotto arrived in Audi, the names of Gabriel Bortoletto and Theo Pourchaire have become louder and louder as the next candidates to race in Formula 1, especially Theo because he's a product of Sauber's academy and an F2 champion. It's sad to see Formula 2 champions not getting enough chances in the highest form of competition, but that is the harsh reality of the sport that they have to deal with. However, under Binotto, the career of Pourchaire might get an unexpected boost on account of Bottas' downfall, who's now slowly but surely losing the status of being the driver with the most privileges for this seat. When addressing this matter, Binotto said that the team needs to make a decision in a couple of weeks' time and they don't have anything left to spare. So right now, the dilemma is whether they go with an experienced driver like Bottas or someone young from their academy like Pourchaire or Bortoletto. The career of the latter driver is currently managed by Fernando Alonso, and we've seen that the two-time world champion has been in close talks with Binotto as they're still keeping their connection close from the Ferrari days, as Alonso himself stated that he's pushing as hard as he can to get Bortoletto to an F1 seat sooner rather than later. Expanding on this situation, Binotto said, "It's a couple of weeks that I've been in Sauber, so it's early for me, but it's definitely something that we need to judge. Are we going for experience or something else? This is a project that is looking to a long-term objective. So the question is, what is the best for us from now to the final goal? Is it more having short-term experience and then moving to something different? We need to decide, and today I think we are not in the position to answer. We are certainly listening to all of the potential drivers. We are certainly evaluating what the pros and cons are for the best compromise. We will decide as soon as possible, no doubt, because we need to set up the team for next year and for the future. We need to as well stop any speculations because it is not in our interest. But so far there is no decision on what will be the best. Now, you might think that this isn't as bad of news for Bottas as you would have originally thought because nothing has been confirmed yet. However, the fact that Audi has so many drivers to choose from and most of them are young, such as Theo, Gabriel, Lawson and Mick Schumacher, goes to show that they might be slowly but surely relying on the youth factor much more than the experienced one. Of course, to compare Hulkenberg's success in Formula 1 to the one of Bottas is silly, but the goal for Audi was clear: have an experienced German driver who would lead the team into their glory days in Formula 1, and then have another driver who might be able to push the ship to a greater extent when it comes to achieving that goal. Bottas has spoken on the pressure he's feeling recently when it comes to focusing on the current season in F1, one that might be the last in his career, as well as securing a seat and having a constant game of catch-up with all of the changes that are happening in Audi. And when talking about how he deals with all the stresses in the situation, the 10-time race winner said, I just need to set myself targets. I need to set myself goals and try to achieve those. In the end, it's all relative. Obviously, it's always more motivating if you are fighting for better positions. That is why I need to play games with my head and create some personal targets and try and go for those. Obviously, a big motivation is still the future, and I'm sure the teams know I am still giving it my all. Me and Bonotto had a coffee, and there are still more coffees to be had, but the coffee talks weren't about a contract. We agreed it was not the right time to speak about it. There is a weekend off, so we've got more time, and I don't want to say more than that, but I am always optimistic. The duo of Hülkenberg and Bottas does seem like the perfect one on paper, but with all of the recent considerations, Bonotto spoke highly of the young drivers who are now in great contention to be racing full-time in Formula One. As the Swiss engineer said, Theo is our reserve driver today, so somehow he is already part of the family, and there is no doubt that he is on our list. Gabriel is doing very well today in Formula 2. I think he has shown to be a great talent, and certainly we are looking at what he is doing as we are looking at many others. I don't see these are the only names on which we are focusing our attention. There are many names on the list with great potential, great expertise and great experience. Of course, we can never say no to an all-German lineup made by Hülkenberg and Mick Schumacher, although the latest development of events from Williams might have killed the chances of Mick to make a solid comeback, because when you have a team principal speak the way he did for you publicly, then you shouldn't expect that the other team principals will see something special in you too. And Pourchaire himself is full of confidence that he can deliver the results that the team will be asking from him. So when talking about an F1 opportunity with the team that raised him to this point, Sauber, the Frenchman said, "I am asking myself what more I could have done in order to deserve an F1 seat. I did my best on the track. For sure, some people say that winning the championship in the third year in F2 is not looking great, but I won it when I was 20 years old. I am the youngest ever race winner in F2, in F3, so I don't have to prove anything on the track. I just need an opportunity. That's it." All of this goes to show that there will be a lot of talks in the future that Bottas might not be part of, or talks that won't suit his reputation, because as a proven race winner and podium scorer with Mercedes, Bottas, of course, knows a thing or two about this sport and the cars, and we are very close to a scenario in which he won't be racing in Formula One anymore. This is something that will definitely come as a huge shock for the fans, because Sauber's form has nothing to do with the performance of its drivers. Bottas has been outperforming Zhou in a regular manner, and had it not been for the slow pit stops at the beginning of the season, the Finn might have scored a couple of points for the Swiss squad too. The current picture is pure depression, however, and that doesn't give Bottas nearly the credit he deserves for keeping the team where it is right now, even though it's in a position that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. But then again, Formula One is an unforgiving sport, and when the circumstances aren't right, you tend to ask yourself whether your time has come and whether enough is enough, despite some things being out of your hands. With all this in mind, do you think that Sauber and Audi will choose another path that will differ from Valtteri Bottas? And if so, do you think that they will be making the right decision? Let us know in the comments below.